Oh, hey there. Didn't expect you. I was just walking in with this cat. You caught me right after we finished up our look at the Watchmen adaptation, the cinematic adaptation. And what better time than to dive into some DC works? Um, Care to join me as we take another look into the library of our Imperius Rex studio?
Yes?
Okay, thank you. So last time we talked about the indie shelves that are predominantly featured on our show. Now you're going to see the other half, like the Troy area, where I have most of my DC and Vertigo stuff. And then maybe down the line we'll get to that hidden Marvel area. Just give a sneak peek. Ooh, that's enough. All right, so we'll start from the top down. We've got a variety of just odds and ends of Batman material here, with the Mike Mignola Batman statue, some Nightfall, some Batman 66, some of the black and whites, and then we move on to these Watchmen figures that I felt I had to have one day. We've got Watchmen, we've got Before Watchmen, then we continue the Alan Moore trend, where we got his Swamp Thing by Vertigo. They were going to do an Absolute, but I heard they canceled it. What's up with that?
Dirty Dog?
That's the one Absolute I was ready to buy. Alan Moore Swamp Thing. Then I'm moving on to some Mark Millar and Morrison. The Brian K. Vaughan Swamp Thing. Some Tom King Swamp Thing. I haven't read any of those.
King Thing?
Yeah, King Thing. And then some Hellblazer there. There's a ton of Hellblazer. I've read a chunk of it. I enjoyed it, but I don't know. I'm not going to buy it all. It's just too much. So I stopped at 5. Nice, good number to stop at. Then we continue back to the Batman. These, I feel like, are more of the canon Batmans of my collection. Maybe they're not, but, you know, we've got the Miller Batman, Gotham Central, a chunk of Grant Morrison Batman, and then into the Snyder run, all the way through the Snyder run, I guess. My Fables shelf, which I haven't read any of. I'm just going to surprise you one day and have read the entire thing, and then we can do an episode on it.
That would be a surprise.
Well, maybe I've already started.
I don't think you have.
I've downloaded the first one on Comixology. I'm not going to read these. Then we got some bigger volumes here. Morrison, again, I already have it there, but how can you pass this beautiful looking baby up? Along with his 7 Soldiers, the New 52, and his 1 Million Omnibus, with a couple fun figures in there. New Frontier, Crisis on Infinite Earth, Kingdom Come, all the greats. All the greats there. Multiversity, Dark Knight's Metal, no, not all the greats. Authority, Wildstorm, Global Frequency, Planetary, one of our absolute favorites.
Molto bene.
Oh, yeah. Doom Patrol, which we're right in the middle of. Invisibles, which maybe we'll get to someday again. And Animal Man, which I think might be on the horizon. So many seeds we're dropping here. Some more Morrison stuff. Kid Eternity, Flax, The Filth, We 3. We should definitely do We 3 someday. And then some Neil Gaiman Sandman, along with Sandman Mystery Theater, which I think DC just stopped releasing because there hasn't been a second or a third volume of this in quite some time. The Unwritten, which reads very much like a Neil Gaiman Sandman type of book. I don't think I read the entire thing because I don't recall how it ends, but I remember reading a chunk of it. Maybe we'll get back to it someday. Brian K. Vaughan shelf, Ex Machina, Why the Last Man, both fantastic. And then we've got Scalped from Jason Aaron, Sweet Tooth, Jeff Lemire, and American Vampire, Scott Snyder. And then this was kind of a mix of the New 52 stuff that I started buying when that relaunched. Some Justice League, some Wonder Woman by Azzarello, which was great. Superman by Morrison, or Action Comics, I guess. Justice League Dark, which was okay. And Swamp Thing by Scott Snyder, Animal Man by Jeff Lemire. And then we went into like the revamp of that, I guess, with Tom King's Batman, Tomasi's Superman, and Rucka's Wonder Woman. Some more Vertigo. I should organize these better as we're reading through. 100 Bullets, Preacher, Transmet, all great. And then a weird catch-all of various DC stuff. Superman for All Seasons, Superman American Alien, Birthright, a lot of good Superman there. JLA by Morrison, Seven Soldiers by Morrison, the DC Bombshells, which I've never read, but I like the take on it. Someday we'll probably dive into that. Batwoman by J.H. Williams and Rucka, Spectre, Omega Men, Power Girl, just all kinds of fun stuff there. Some of these weird characters like that lend themselves to some unique storytelling. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Earth One books, which I think we're pretty big fans of here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Need to do another episode on that. And then lastly, this cat. Now, back up.
Hi,
Covering
cat.
the comics. Day Tripper, one of my favorite comics of all time. And then just kind of a weird mismatching of Vertigo books. Primarily Astro City, which is amazing. Haven't read it all, but I really enjoy what I've read. Starman, which is apparently cursed to never go past Volume 2 in the collection. Some weird shit like Exterminators, Federal Bureau of Physics, Clean Room, and Unfollow. These are all books that I've heard are good. I've read a couple of them. I enjoyed it. And then some of the Young Animal collection, which I think I might have everything they've put out so far. Doom Patrol, Mother Panic, Cave Carlson, and Shade. Along with, some one-offs like Paul Dini's Dark Knight, Scott Snyder's Wake, Brian Azzarello's Spaceman. So there you go, an in-depth look at the DC facet of the studio. I guess that's all I've got.
Until Marvel, Dave.
That's right.